Just thanks very much for Terry for inviting me today. It's a real big privilege. Known the man since he was a young chap. He probably told you about the story in Athens, and it was a bit like, if you can't know what I mean, it's a bit like Yoda meets Luke Skywalker. And I remember turning around to the guys in the room and saying, the force is strong in this one. Because our business is Star Wars, isn't it? But he always had that magic, and we've talked over the years about different things about what we're going to do and what we're not going to do. And you could always tell he was going to be special. There's probably lots of other people in the room who are going to be special too. I mean, you're all special because you're here, because you all give up a day at work, yeah? I don't know what anybody's day rate is, 500 a day, £1,000 a day, whatever, you all got your targets. My target's £4,000 a day, that's what I've got to do, and I don't go home until I've done it. Me and Terry talked about targets and goals for years, so you're special, took a day out of work, what a fantastic place. I'm not into football, but I suppose if you are, it's like going to Graceland if you're in rock and roll, it must be fantastic. I haven't seen much of it, so I got here at 4, crashed out, got up at 6, try and get prepared for this. So congratulations to Terry. What we're putting together is going to be amazing. Most of these, I went to a network dinner last night. Lou and Fiona were there too, and nice. Few awards, lovely, but all CPD, all compliant. You can't say sales, you can't say this, you can't say this. So today we're going to have a little bit of fun. There've been some fantastic speakers, and what I thought was how great it was, all the different aspects of all the speakers. Aaron, your story, and Matthew, what a great story. The common denominator there, if you think about it, is, and I'm sure there's some very, very intelligent people in the room, but nobody's had a degree, have they? Yeah, we've got an electrician earning £50,000 a month. Guy working for Nissan, Terry, come from nothing. I don't know what you guys in the room have done, but this business of financial services is the greatest business that there possibly is. I don't need to do it, but I'd still do it every day, 14, 15 hours a day. I absolutely love it. It's given me a fantastic life. All the usual trappings that you have of the wealth. I've traveled the world, done some fantastic things. And you're so lucky to be involved in financial services. It is the greatest business in the world.
Amen.
Zig Ziglar said once, I don't know if you remember Zig Ziglar, one of the great mentors of the American times, and he said, the easiest thing in the world is to work out what you want. The hardest thing in the world is to work out how you're going to get it. And what he said, how you get it is you help lots of other people get what they want first. What Ollie's just saying there, yeah, giving back to charity, dealing with the children. I remember, I'll just say this before I sit down. One of my first mentors, the officer we had right back in the Wolf of Wall Street days, he said, I can teach you how to sell insurance. He said, I can do that for you. He said, but you'll never know why you're selling insurance until you take a check to a widow. Now, everybody's heard the widow story. Can I just ask, don't embarrass yourself, but who here has taken a check to a widow? Okay, that's good. So you know the feeling, don't you? When you know you're going to keep that lady in the house, or the husband in the house, the children have some family income benefit. Who's paid out a critical illness claim? Okay, so you know what I'm talking about, yes? The check for the cancer, the check for the death, we could go on and on and on, income protection. So when you do that, you realise what you're actually doing. Investments are great, people make money, yeah? But the life insurance business is one of the greatest businesses you can be in. Mortgages are great, lovely. But your job is getting them into the house, but your second most important job is keeping them in the house. And that's what, with all respect to everybody in the room, amateurs don't do. Rate chasers, computer hacks, all they do is just sell the rate, sell the rate, sell the rate, like Ollie said. Your job is to get them in the house, whether you do it yourself or whether you don't. But your most important job is to keep them in the house. Because as the people have said today, things go right, things go wrong. Everybody in this room is going to die, yep? The death rate in Britain is still 1 per person. Nobody's going out alive. If I draw a line down the middle here, and I'm sorry if you're which line it is, half the people the other side of that line are going to get cancer. Okay? If I go down here, 2/3 down the line. Sorry, Terry.
Sorry, that's one.
Sorry. This side of the room are all going to be off work for more than 6 months, which means they might lose their house. They might not be able to send the kids to private school. So that's the business that we're in. Nobody here might want to buy an aeroplane, or they might want to buy whatever. But the life insurance business that you're in is fantastic. I've paid out millions of life cover. I know people in the room have too, millions of critical illness cover. We've kept people in the lifeboat when the Titanic is sank. So yes, we'll have a good time. We're going to go to a convention. We're going to have a few beers and have a good time. But don't ever forget that that is your job, to help people at their moment, their moment of their worst need. When the wife is going to visit the husband who's got no hair, I've been there, when he's having chemotherapy and they're thinking, shit, am I going to get my house repossessed? And that's what you did. And when that wife rings up the office and says, my husband's got cancer, he's got 6 months to live, we're right in the shit here, can you help us? You've got to ask yourself, did I do the best that I could to have that conversation? Did I push the boundary? Did I do an ollie? Did I ask the question? Did I say up to? Did I draw a picture? Did I do the best you can? Because if you stay in this business long enough, which I hope that you do, you're going to get those phone calls. So whatever the rest of the conversation is, just remember, you can have what you want from the business, but you have to get other people what they want. And be proud of it. Do not be embarrassed to say you're a life insurance salesman. I say it to people, they look at you gone out. Be proud to do what you do, because nobody does it anymore, do they? It's not about rates and charts. It's about giving people a lifeboat where the Titanic sinks. It's about keeping people afloat and giving people income. What Ollie does is incredible. What everybody does here is incredible. It's a fantastic business. I do get emotional about it. I'm very passionate, been doing it a very, very long time. It's given me, I said, everything that I want. This man here is going to put a club together. We're going to have a laugh, we're going to have a good time, but it used to be like this, 35 years ago. There was the LIA meetings, but there's anybody who's older than me and who remembers those things. We used to go there, we used to have a great time. And we were proud to be life insurance salesmen. But now it seems we've all just gone a bit compliancy. Are we doing a DTA? Are we doing 2 single lives? Are we doing this? What's that? What's the compliance? But at the end of the day, the paperwork is the most important thing to them, but to us, it's the problem and the premium and the solution. So that's all to say. So I'm glad everybody came. We'll have a chat, see what we're going to do. We'll have some questions, throw some stuff in. After 35 years, I don't think it's much I haven't seen. So we'll lob some questions in. You got any particular issues that you're sort of struggling with? I've hoped to help people over the years to try and get over those things. I've heard it, I can't sell to landlords, I can't get big premiums, but you can. Because remember, the worst conversation you can have is with yourself, and if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. Me and Ollie are completely different, yes? He's got a ponytail, tattoos, and a hoodie on, and I've got a nice haircut and a suit. We are completely different, aren't we? But yet we are absolutely the same. Are you with me? Absolutely the same. It doesn't matter whether you're black, white, fat, thin, gay, straight, come from a council house, or your dad was rich. At the end of the day, this business can give you anything that you want, and don't ever forget it. So don't worry about where you came from, you just worry about where you're going to. That's all to say.
Yeah, man, right, Tony, you want to go this one? You want to go this one? And then, because you can jump on there, yeah?
I'll show you something funny.
We're going to do the slides first. Go
We're
for
going
it.
to show you something
Yeah.
funny. So that's where I started, okay? In the 80s, remember that cameo, word up? So I was working as a road sweeper for the council. I managed to get an upgrade to be working on the roads and laying curbs, and I was always desperate to have money because we come from a council house. We'd always been skint, and you know how it is when well, most people aren't skint now, but you were in the 70s. So went from that, and then very similar to the other guy's stories, a guy came up to me and said, we were just talking and dancing and stuff. He said, what do you do? I said, work for the council. He said, you said you should be an insurance salesman. I said, really? I said, no. I said, didn't do very well at school, left school at 16, no good at maths, not very good at that. He said, come on down, very, very similar to the other guys. Come on down, I know the boss, I can get you a job. Of course, I didn't know at the time that if you could breathe and walk and knew 2 people, you had a job. Yeah. It was self-employed commission only, knock on 50 doors a day, and if you run out of that, here's the telephone directory, crack on. So I got the job, and for some strange reason, and then it seemed to work. So what happened was then I started in the 8th nice tash, just do Freddie Mercury-grams at the night time to earn an extra 50 quid. I started in the April, everybody had a 3-month head start, and this was April 1989, and by the end of December, I was the salesperson of the year with a 3-month backward start. Then put a little team together as we did. Wolf of Wall Street style. So put my little team together and we were off. And then we started making some money. And then 18 months later, we're there. The Hooray Henrys. 1989 on the F, brand new Porsche, with the standard mobile phone you couldn't talk to because nobody else had one. Used to carry it to the porch like a suitcase, try and entrap the thing in, and they used to pull up at the traffic lights trying to look cool. Nobody else had one, so you get the phone out, sit there like that, looking at people, talking to nobody, pretending. It was great days. Anyway, that was all wonderful, and then of course came ERM, 15.4% interest rates, 1992, disaster. 1 year later, I get the Porsche repossessed because I had no idea about money, no idea what I was selling, no idea what I was doing, and I ended up working back in a factory. So then you build it back up and build it back. So back to the stories of the guys with adversity, but it doesn't matter where you start, it's where you finish, yeah? So it doesn't matter where you are now, that's where it goes. So all over to you.
Let's
There
do
you
the
go.
seats. Right,
Done.
great. Thanks, mate. Let's leave that
fun.
one on there. I think that's a good backdrop for us to do some Q&A. I think that's cracking.
It's fun.
Thanks, man. I told you it was good, man. It's the oracle. I'm telling you, most of the sales trainers that you see this in this day and age. Sorry, go for your water.
Cheers, man.
Most of the sales trainers that you see today, in protection specifically, say lines that originated from this man. They did, and I know that because I know the source of all the lines, all the disturbance techniques. Most of it came from this man. So I couldn't give him enough credit. So we've got 5 questions, and then we'll open it up, do maybe some Q&A. I think Tony's going to do some bits on the flip chart, and then we're going to do the announcement. Yeah. So, I mean, told us a little bit of background. The first question was, tell us a little bit about your background.
Oh, there you go.
We've done that one, yeah? Okay.
Yes, okay.
Ticked off. So, what does your business look like today? And what are the activity and production levels like? What's the day-to-day running in the business? Production levels, what does that look like?
So, like everybody else, I went through the business normal, came back from that, and then joined. We're at General Portfolio, which I don't know anybody's ever heard of. It was similar to a Wolf of Wall Street operation. Trevor Deves, wow. See, Steve remembers.
This is Bob Patmore, right?
He must be slightly older than me. No,
Yeah.
Trevor Deves. I thought I was the oldest man in the room. It was the Wolf of Wall Street, unfortunately, with no prostitutes and no cocaine, and we'd have had a much better time. But yeah, but it was very much pot as many balls as you can, do what you got to do. So some survived and some went, but then I went from there to manufacturers life insurance and to Canada Life, which was really, really good. And then about 2000, I started my own business, as the good people in the room will. And we built that up till the crash in 2008. Had 4 offices, everything was going great. About 30 people working there, and then bang, the crash comes, and you're going from doing 100 mortgages a month to 10 mortgages a month, 30 grand going out and 2 grand coming in. So you get wiped out. So that was enough for me.
Yeah.
So I decided then to stop, and I just went to be a sole trader. Lost all my faith in people, and just carried on my own. So now we just me selling and 4 helpers.
4 admin, yeah.
4 in the team, yeah. That's it, yeah.
Production levels, I know I gave an idea earlier, but because you do a lot, it's not just protection, right? It's not just mortgages either. What does that look like for you?
So we've got a multi-practice. So we do mortgages, about 50 mortgages a month. Obviously got a big book.
Just you personally, that isn't it?
Yeah, it's only me writing business, yeah. But you've got to remember, we've been doing it a long time, so there's a lot of renewals because obviously you try and keep the people on board. So we've got about 500 renewals a year. Try and do £1,000 worth of life a month, but try my best, do what you can do. And quite a big will business on the side. So we've got enough business on the side doing wills. And we do a little bit of investments, but not much. So that's where it's at.
And the property stuff. So the first person I really know.
A lot of bridging, a lot of commercials, that kind of stuff.
As well.
Yeah.
The loan notes and things. And we don't need to get into that now, but like, it's probably one of the only people I know, and people might be able to relate to this. When you do protection in mortgages, which is most people in the room, you then add in estate planning, and sometimes you make it work, sometimes you don't, but it often takes the focus away from the other stuff. And then you think, right, well, I want to try and do this little bit of investments here and pensions and a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And before you know it, you spread really thin. You're probably the only person I know who does it all really well and has done it over a long enough time frame at a high level. Because I think, I don't know if anyone can relate to that. I fell victim to that. We set up bespoke estate planning and it didn't work because I couldn't give it the time and attention because I was busy doing everything else. And it just spread us too thin and then the figures dipped at bespoke because I was doing this other thing. So sometimes I think the answer is for a lot of people actually just to focus on one or two things, but you seem to have it all. Is that because of the admin support, you think, or what would you say?
The answer is in a completely non-arrogant way. I don't want to do anything that I don't want to do. So my job's to see people. I'm the financial advisor, I'm the closer, aren't I? So all I do is see people, that's it. 5, 6 people a day. Face-to-face mainly. I know lots of people run online operations and emails and all the rest of it, but I'm a bit like Ollie. I'm in a small town, so I know my people and been dealing with these people for years. You know, you're doing first-time buying mortgages now for kids
and grandkids.
You went round 25 years ago and did the will and the insurance and the bits and pieces. Longevity is the key, isn't it? That's the key. Longevity, keeping people going. So I only see people. I've got a very, very good team. They've been with me a long time. I pay them well. I look after them, give them a good environment, lots of bonuses, lots of tips, and I just see people. So I get a file put on my desk, I do the deal, and file goes back to the team. Next deal, next deal, next deal. We've got a good operation going on.
5, 6 a day, and then you're passing pretty much all of your admin.
I don't do anything. Do nothing.
One great line that you told me, and I always remembered, was you go in, you get in the door with one thing, and you come out with everything.
No, go in with anything, come out with everything.
That was it.
Clean the fridge out.
Yeah.
As the guys were saying, at the end of the day, the one thing that's most annoying is whether you. Well, I don't have a website. I don't have any social media because I'm old and I don't understand any of all that. And because we've been going so long, we don't need. So I realise you do when you're young. You need all that stuff to bring the clients in. But like Ollie, we were taught to get referrals and get referrals and stuff. So with wills and trusts, you're getting tons of referrals. With mortgages, you're getting tons of referrals. So we're just working off referrals. And like Ollie said, if people don't want to do business, then see you later. So we're not doing the business, are we? So yeah, so you're getting the referrals come in, and I just want to see the people. And then what I'm trying to do is, there's a lot of mortgage business there. As we know, people don't ring up every day and say, "Hi, I'd like some critical illness cover." Obviously, they do for Ollie because that's his specialised subject. But we're trying to get as much penetration as you can on the mortgages, and we just see the people and tell them how it is.
Love it. Love it. So next question I've got here is, who are your biggest influences? Sorry, actually before that, what's your sales process look like? I've got on there as well, sorry.
Just said, that's it. Yeah, so
it's all face-to-face?
Nearly all face-to-face.
Nearly all?
Yeah, so I don't need to go out of town. I don't like doing email selling.
Are you doing like two-stage appointments, or is it all one?
No, seconds and firsts. Depends on the situation, but yeah. But all at the front end. So same as Ollie, he's the master. Same as Matt, at the end of the day, protection, GI, the fee, everything, all rolled in the first appointment. Once they've got the keys, you're dead on you. When they've got the offer, they forgot your second name. When they've got the keys, they forget your first name. You're going to tell them nothing, you're dead. Yeah. All got to be done at the start.
So he just says these lines all the time.
It's the truth.
He just keeps spitting them, and it's like, it's never ended. He's got so many gems that I'm trying to extract.
They've come to buy a house, haven't they? And if you don't have the protection and the GI and the rest of it as part of the house buying experience, you ain't getting it, are you? I know other people want to pass over to other people, and I get that. As I said earlier, if you're not good at protection and you want to get it to somebody else, then great. So it doesn't matter who does the protection, as long as the people get it, as we say, because we want to make sure they're protected. But you've got to get in at the start. It's very old-fashioned. I realise that, budget-driven sale. But, if you go back 30 years, we used to... If you ring up the client and say there's a 5-year fixed rate at 5.5, and there's a 2-year fixed rate at 2 or whatever it might be, they'll say, I'll take the 5-year. Well, the other 0.5% might be an extra 50 quid, mightn't it? So they'd easily pay another 50 quid to get the house if the interest rates go up. We've just been doing mortgages, haven't we, at 6s and 7s and 8s and what have you. So that 50 quid means nothing to them, only if it's part of the house buying process. I mean, I think there's a couple of guys in the room I spoke to over lunch, and they went to a discussion we had 10 years ago. and they're having struggling trying to get the position of the protection right. And all I said was that when you send out the mortgage fact find and all the stuff, you send out a medical with it. So our process is that whatever we want to sell that client, we will ask for at the start. So I don't know how you guys do it, but so we ask for the bank statements, all the ideal. It doesn't matter what they're doing, whether it's a bridge or a further advance or whatever it is. We'll ask for their will and their trust. We'll ask for all their investments. We'll ask for their existing life, like Ollie said. We'll ask for all the stuff that we want to sell them. We'll ask for that all up front. And amazingly enough, if you send them the medical with the mortgage fact find, our medical's part of the mortgage fact find, they very rarely ring up and say, what have I got to fill this in for? Because they're filling in the fact find that gets them the house. While they haven't got the house, they'll have anything. As soon as they got the house, see you later, bye. That's how it works. That's how it works.
Go in for one thing, come out with everything. Love it.
Yeah, but not not really on the mortgage. I think you've got to try and build up that trust before, haven't you? You've got your, how can I explain it? We used to call it the seven circles of sales. So you've got to meet the right people, haven't you? Build trust, ask the questions to find out the problems, get the solutions, present, close, and then retain. So that's all it is really, it's just one big circle of action. And some people only do a mortgage, won't they? That's fine. That's fine, we'll take the money. All the money spends the same, doesn't it? The holding's the same if it's from mortgage money or life insurance money, who cares? But at the end of the day, we're trying to always trying to find how we can do more for that client. And like Ollie said, you know, the most important thing that you've got in your hand is the bank statements. That's the most important thing. Because then you'll see all the old life on there, what they've got, what charities they give to, who they are, what they are. You can, from a set of 3 months bank statements, you can tell about everybody's life. So it's and a proper fact find.
Proper fact find, definitely.
Well, it amazes me when we go to these meetings, you've been there, and people say, you know, they're really, really annoyed that the lender wants this and the lender wants that. They want all these documents, they just want to get the mortgage done. The more documents you get, the better it is. Why would you not want the documents? Why would you not want to do a proper fact find? Mortgage brokers just want to get facts, don't they? But what you really want to get is feelings, because life insurance is emotional. Remember, people don't buy life insurance for themselves, do they? We used to call it wife insurance, not life insurance, yeah? but they don't buy it for themselves, do they? Critical illness they do, income protection they do, but they don't, do they? I always think it must have been a great man. It must have been the greatest man on the planet who changed the name of death insurance to life insurance. Can you imagine spending 20 years ringing up, hi, it's Tony from Canada Death? Can you imagine that? And as Ollie said, a very, very important thing. Ollie's so good at the job. I never use the word insurance either. Let's not get into protection because Ollie's done his bit, but I never ever use the word insurance. It's either the school fees protection plan, it's the for the kids, it's for the wedding, it's for whatever it is. So never ever insurance, and never ever premium, always investment. Never monthly payment, always investment. So how much are you going to invest into the plan that's going to keep your children at private school? Never mention the I word, never mention it. Anyway, carry on, sorry.
Love that, man, love it.
Sorry.
I just let you go because just more like one-liners
No,
come up, which I love, which I absolutely love. Who are the biggest influences in your career, influences, mentors, and why?
Okay, so the guy who ran General Portfolio was a guy called Bob Patmore, and has anybody here ever seen the film The Boiler Room with Vin Diesel? Okay, maybe a few people.
Where he slides the...
Yeah, do you remember? Yeah, I forget all the swearing in it, but he has an interview, and if you remember, he says, "Who's got Series 7?" which is the American investment exam. And this guy goes, "Yeah, I've got that." He said, "Right, well, you can F off then." He said, "Because we train brokers here," he said, "we don't employ them." And that's how Bob was.
Was it, yeah?
It was all scaffolders, welders, electricians, skint kids from council houses who were all skint. That was the recruitment thing. I actually got paycheck recruited. You know the scene in The Wolf of Wall Street? The guy comes into Leonardo DiCaprio when he's in the restaurant. I got payslip recruited like that by the guy.
Did you? By Bob Patmore?
Yeah. No, by the guy who recruited me. Yeah. So Bob was a great influence, because what he did was, he didn't really teach us how to sell insurance, but what he installed in us was that positive mental attitude. That, as I said before, it didn't matter where we came from. What matters was where we were going two. It didn't matter what education, whether we were a school smart, we could still be a street smart. And Jason was at the desk with me. I don't know if anybody knows Jason Howard, but he now runs Insight Financial, which is a multi-million-pound business. He was sat at our desk in 1989. Mark Alexander was at the desk. Anybody heard of Mark Alexander? Property 118. If you just Google Property 118, he's a multi-millionaire and lives in Monaco. He was sat at that desk. Don't know what happened to me, but there we go. But they're, you know, a lot of people went by the wayside, but Jason worked in a pizza place.
Jason Howard did, yeah.
Jason Howard worked in Domino's Pizzas before. I payslip recruited him.
Yeah.
So it was a great time. And Bob Patmore, if you Google him up, write his name down on your pads and Google him when you go home, because he's still going. He's still, what a fantastic guy. So he was the number one person. He just made you. What he was a Terry. So he was a person who tried to pull people together and make them believe that they could do what they thought they couldn't do. And then the next person was about 1993, 94. So having a real rough time. I had a gym and had some other business that were going on. Things were going all tits up all around me, all over the place. And I was really just sort of struggling. A bit like what Matt said. You just get into a burnout. Your head's gone, yeah?
Yeah.
Because an old saying is that the body will always follow the head. If you ask boxers or wrestlers, it's always the same. So once the head's gone, the body's gone. You've got to try and keep the head right. I'm really associated with what Matt said. And I remember I thought, I'm going to bail out of this. I can't do it. Bearing in mind I'd come from that, and I can't do it. And a guy who worked in our office said, why don't you come to the LIA meeting, which is the Life Insurance Association, because it was a big thing then. There's meetings all around everywhere. There was meetings in every town. Everybody used to go. And we went there. He said, I'll pay for it. Just come. So we went, and the guest speaker there was a guy called Peter Rosengard. Anybody ever heard of Peter Rosengard? No, Steve would have done. So if you Google him, put him have Google him when you get home. He still holds the world record for the biggest life insurance policy that was ever sold. And his presentation was called Call the President. So he had, this man had balls like coconuts. He would ask anybody and prospect anybody. He was absolutely incredible. And he come from a poor background as well. And he was on the stage and he did this fantastic presentation. I came out of there all buzzed up in a completely different way. There's a couple of stories there. So he was always about prospecting up, yes. In our office, we used to have this thing called the chicken call. So you used to have to make, like the guys were saying, you used to have to make 100 calls a week, get all the appointments together. And then Terry was the boss, Terry that happened, he'd come out and he'd give you the chicken call. And it'd be like the mayor of the town or a local businessman. And you were shit scared because you're only like in your 20s. He said, you got to ring this guy. Everyone have a smile when you dial and all that kind of stuff and stand up. So he gave her that. It's just a couple of quick stories, like Ollie was talking about. So I went to a dinner about 15 years ago. It was a dinner at a place, and there was a guy there. There was a guy there called Rick, and he was the vice president of Shell Oil Company. He was doing a presentation. It was a financial thing. Anyway, I ended up getting to sit next to the guy. So we had a conversation, started talking to him, and said, oh, fantastic. So I asked the 3 questions. Lovely, what's your name? He said, my name's Rick. I went to say his second name for the privacy. He said, that's a true story, don't tell any lies. So I said, hi. I said, my name's Tony Taylor. I said, I'm a life insurance salesman. He said, oh. He said, great. He said, really? He said, bet you're popular. Then he said, did you get invited? I said, well, at the end of the day, I said, we're honest. So we had a conversation. And then, so I asked him the second question I always ask is, how did you get where you are today? So we start giving it, doesn't he? Because nobody's asked him all day. And then I said to him a line that I always use, which is, it's very, very nice to meet you. So who looks after your money? And I just say nothing. Been using it for 30 years. So who looks after your money? He said, well, funny you should say that. He said, I'm actually just about to retire from Shell Oil Company. He said, and we've got this huge pension, I don't know what to do with it. He said, I'm just getting divorced. He said, I'm all over the place at the moment. He said, I need some help. Great, I said, I can help you with that then. The guy now I did a £2,000 a month whole of life policy for the guy, invested £1 million for him, he's now one of our best clients. So we prospected up. Another quick story, saying about Peter Rosengard, about have the balls to do it. I got invited to a corporate do at the World Darts Championship, and we went into the back room. Phil Taylor was there and all the other bods there. Don't know if anybody's into darts. And Peter Snakebite Wright came in, sat someone to him, I was introduced to him. Yeah, this is Tony, blah, 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 blah. Did the usual thing. Nice to meet you. I'm Tony Taylor. How are you? Had a conversation with him, started talking to him, and I said to him, no, very nice to meet you. I've had a really pleasure, you're a fantastic dart player, I love the darts, blah, blah, blah. I said, by the way, I hope you don't mind me asking. I said, but I'm in financial planning. I said, who looks after your money? He said, well, no one really. He said, my Mrs.'s father. I said, really? So, okay, so I'm a financial planner. I said, if you ever need me, I said, give us a call. Of course, 3 months later, he wins the world title and gets $500,000. I get a phone call. Hello, is that Tony? Yeah, hi, it's Peter here, blah, 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 blah. I've won all this money, don't know what to do, never had this much money in my life. Can you help me? So I said, yeah, I can help you with that. So what I'd say to you is that, so those two people are still clients of mine, and you know one of you don't know the other. But Rosengard always said, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. The more money they have, the more they've got to lose. And I remember being in a room with Bob Patmore. He was in a room with a load of footballers, and he said, I've just prospected this guy.
He played for Tottenham, didn't he? Or he
plays a footballer, yeah. And there was John Barnes in the room and some other footballers. And he prospected John Barnes, and he got John Barnes as a client. And he came back into the room, and he said, I've just got John Barnes as a client. He said, why didn't none of you, he was talking to us, he said, why did none of you guys prospect him? And we all said, well, because we knew you would, because you're the one with the biggest balls, yeah? So, it's a true story. So Rosengard, because I thought I was a scroty little kid from a council house, and these people were right up here, you don't think that you're, whether they're businessmen, whether they're sportsmen or whatever, look at Jamie. Barry's Jamie.
Yeah,
he's now got the whole of the half of the England Olympic team, the hockey team, the swimmers, all because he dared to ask, who looks after your money? Yeah, it's been a very, very 3 words that have earned me a lot of money, because you think that all these people have got the best solicitors, the best lawyers, the best accountants.
Sorry,
nobody spoke to them.
Can you tell them that they're hoovering or something in there? Could you go and tell them to shut up, please? What's just doing me head in?
They're hoovering up all the information.
Yeah, yeah. Let's suck it out, Tony. Yeah. We want it. Fuck them.
There's 3 chefs and 2 waiters there. Want to start selling life insurance?
Yeah,
Listen to the door.
Ollie's probably in there. Is he pitching them? No? Sorry, Tony, I interrupted you, but that was distracting.
He's prospected them already.
Yeah.
So that was it. And then I suppose the third person that was most really influential, never met the guy unfortunately, was Robert Kiyosaki. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you said to me, I want to get into property, what should I do? I said, I can help you with that. So I built a large portfolio. You said, how to do that? And I said, told you Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So I think in the other side of the business, in the property business, he's been the greatest mentor, because he revolutionised everything. Patmore changed everything. A disruptor, like an Uber or what have you.
Definitely.
Kiyosaki changed the world, didn't he? Don't pay your mortgage off. Don't buy 1 house, buy 10. Leverage, rolling up, all the stuff that Aaron was talking about and that Ollie was talking about. So that was those two in the financial services business, but Kiyosaki in the property business.
Love that.
Yeah, that's the three most. Those sliding door moments. Anybody seen the film Sliding Doors? Yeah. You could probably all think, can't you, that there's probably in your whole lifetime maybe 2 or 3 people that have completely changed your life, yes? And that maybe for a good thing or a bad thing. But yeah, you have to think about those things. It's sliding door moments. Yeah.
And an exclusive, I'm going to try my absolute best to get Rosengard and Patmore in January, just so people know. That is the plan. I met Bob before. Really weird, I spoke, but obviously Tony told me about Bob and I read his book and I really researched him. I was dying to meet this guy. Weirdly, I was being interviewed on a podcast and someone said, who would you really like to have dinner with? And I just said, Bob Patmore. And I can't remember who else I said. I think I named 3 people.
And I arranged it for you.
Yeah. And then next thing I know, Bob's ringing and saying, yeah, I'll come down to my house. I was like, bloody hell. It's like, big motor was buzzing, got there. And bearing in mind, he must have been now 70, 80. I mean, he's got to be getting on.
If we've got the old time, just one funny story. I think it's funny, but maybe you might not do. I'm not supposed to be a comedian, am I? So 10 years ago, we're through some contacts. We met a guy, and he was talking about Bob Patmore. So me and Jason went, Bob Patmore, wow, man, that guy changed our life. Yes, he took us from here to there. He changed our complete life, wiped us out. He said, would you like to meet him? So because that was that meeting that I had, that then I got him.
Did the same for me,
I
yeah.
had his phone number to give to you. So he said, yeah, we'd like to meet him. So Jason couldn't come that day. So he said, come down to my house in Chalfont St Peter. Well, I don't know where Chalfont St Peter was, but it's like Millionaires Row. So we go down to the house to meet the Bob, bring him up, go down there, get to this driveway, monster house, worth about 10 million quid. And this is the guy who was our mentor, you know, he's just amazing. Anyway, go in, love it. His day is about 74 years old, jet black dyed hair, moustache. He got a 36-year-old wife and 2 kids. I thought, he doesn't change, does he? He doesn't change. Been divorced about 3 times. Anyway, so we go around the house. Funny enough, the thing he said, he just bought a Tesla because he had all these row of cars all lined up with all the number plates on. And he just bought a Tesla. He said, Tony, you want to buy some shares in Tesla? I said, okay, Bob, I'll do that then. Anyway, we did some business stuff, had a talk, and he says, do you want to go to lunch? I said, yeah, that'd be great. Lovely, thanks. So he gets on the phone, he said, Luigi, he said, just going to pop over for lunch, is that okay? He said, yeah. He said, yeah. So out we go to the garden, presses this button, there's this big greenhouse thing there. All of a sudden, a helicopter comes out of the side of this thing, right? Just when you think you got a few quid, you realise you're skint, don't you? A helicopter comes out. He said, here's the gear. I hate helicopters. I don't mind planes. I'll go
I went in his one. I was shitting myself as well.
I absolutely hate the things. I can't even work out how they take off. I do the bird thing, the roundy something, and that doesn't work. So I thought, I can't bolt out of this. So I get in the thing and get all the gear on, all the Biggles gear, get in the thing, off we go. We go up this, anyway, we go across the Thames, and there's this fantastic white place there, which apparently used to be Winston Churchill's house, yeah? His summer residence. There's a big H on the floor there. Down we go. So I've gone all dressed up, right? I'm dressed up, thinking I'm going to go and see, like, I'm going to meet Elvis, aren't I? So I'm all dressed up. He's got Crocs on, a pair of shorts, and a manky T-shirt. We've gone around his house. So we land in this helicopter, right? And all of a sudden, this guy comes out like Usain Bolt, straight across the thing. Yes, Mr. Bob. No, Mr. Bob. Yes, Mr. Bob. So we get out of the helicopter, and then this guy's running. We're walking across this grass, and this place is absolutely packed. There's all hats and rich people in there. All like, oh, it's crazy. So of course, they all think that I'm the rich guy with the helicopter because I'm dressed up, and he's like the cleaner, right? So we walk across. Anyway, we get the seat. Mr. Bob, usual seat, lovely. He sits down. He goes, yeah, you know, wealthy people are. So he sits down. He said, we'll have the usual. He said, yeah. He said, we'll have the fish and chips. So okay. He said, I don't like fish and chips, whatever you want, Bob. I'm just happy to be having dinner with you. You know, I'm going to get all the information. So the fish and chips come out. There's like a fish finger and 4 chips in kind of a Jenga thing, a micro dot of mushy peas and tartar sauce. Yeah. Anyway, so a bottle of the wine. So he gets the wine. Anyway, sit down, have the food, have a talk. And then, of course, the bill comes out. So I thought, Christ, I better get the bill, hadn't I? Yeah. So I think the bill was about 350 quid for this bottle of wine he had and the fish finger. So I sat down and I said to him, of course, the trouble is, you can take the kid out of the cancel house, but you can't take the cancel house out of the kid, can you? So I said, shit, man. I said, that's the most expensive fish and chips I've ever had. And he looked at me, Terry, and he went, you think dinner was expensive? He said, how much do you think the taxi ride was here? In the helicopter, yeah. And I thought, yeah, there's always another level.
Levels, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so that was a great time to meet him.
Yeah.
And Rosengard as well. Anyway,
hopefully we can get them
in
the making. So
yeah,
there you go.
It's funny.
So last question to end up. We'll maybe do some Q&A or whatever you want to do. For me, I think you're one of the best salespeople, protection salespeople I've ever came across. And that's not an exaggeration, I really believe that. What would you say the key skills of being a successful salesperson are? Maybe some headlines. What do you think the key skills are, attributes?
First of all, everybody does it a different way, don't they? I said, me and Ollie are completely different people. Yep. So everybody does it in their own way. But Ollie said morals, I'd agree with that. I think you have to be, first of all, a very nice and a very trustworthy person. And you have to, because people only do business with people that they like, won't they? Yeah.
Definitely.
All the great people I know in our business, they've never stitched anybody up. They're all fantastic people. They're the people you'd like to go out for a meal with. They're people you'd like to have a drink with. I think, how would I describe it? A magnetic personality. Yep. Are you with me?
Energy, definitely.
If you want to find the salesperson in the room, they'll be in the middle of the room with people talking to them. Yeah. So you have to attract people, don't you? Don't you? Flies go to shit, bees go to honey. That's the way life works, yeah? That's how it is, okay? Right? So I'm being serious, okay?
That's true.
So you have to have a magnetic personality, right? Number one, you have to have the balls, don't you? Yeah? Bob used to say it was balls, brains and bucks. That's the three skills that you need to have. But you need to have the mental resilience to be able to take rejection. Call reluctance, yeah? Getting told 20 times to F off. Bob always used to say, if you deal this guy, it's £1,000, yeah? But you might have to ring 100 people. So every time someone said no, you've earned a tenner. And just remember, every no that you get is one closer to yes, yeah? So you didn't get told no, it wasn't a failure, you've just earned 10 quid. Because when you got to the 100th one, or 10th one, it was £1,000. So you've got to have that resilience, I think. Like all these guys, everybody in the room's had ups and downs in life, divorces, disasters, deaths, mental situations, mental illnesses. I've had illnesses, 2 divorces, been up, been down. You just got to keep on keeping on, haven't you? As long as you keep swimming and don't drown, you're okay. And then also, I think, so the resilience is very important, but the most important thing is the drive. I mean, you're really big on goal planning. When we first met each other, I said to you then, I said, what's your dream? Yeah, where do you want to be? What do you want to do? You have to, because sometimes it's easy and sometimes it's hard, isn't it? And like all the guys have spoken about some speciality, he's been through some stuff there, but you've got to keep on keeping on, haven't you? So I think the most important thing is, it's a hard game. We're not getting paid 100 grand a year when it's easy, are we? You want to go into McDonald's, you can do that, can't you? Hang your brain up on the way and cook some sip some burgers and come back out again. Well, you can, can't you? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But you're going to get McDonald's money, aren't you? I'm sure the managers want a lot of money, but you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if you want to earn proper big money, it's hard work.
For sure.
Bob always used to say that the sales will be the lowest paid easy work that you do or the highest paid hard work that you do. But he said the highest paid work that you'll ever do is called network. Yeah, circulating. So I think you have to be prepared to talk to people. Luckily, I had a bit of skill. I've been a DJ for a long time, so I wasn't scared of talking to people. But you're still coming from that thing, and I think you've got to have that ambition, that drive, to keep every day getting up and doing it. It's hard, isn't it? It's hard. Everybody knows it's hard. Why are they here? Everybody's here because we want to do better. Everybody's here because they want to achieve their dreams, don't they? Anybody in here can be a multi-millionaire in this business. That's what's great about it. Financial services is such a leveler, isn't it? Such a leveler. So someone can come in with 15 degrees and be the smartest person in the world, and they can't even pick the phone up. You get someone comes in, look, like all of us, yeah? Someone can come in and they can do it, can't they? They can do it. So it's a great leveler. But I think that would be the 3 skills that you would have.
100%. Love it, man. Love it. I got to talk to you all night, and we will talk all night, I'm sure.
We've got to finish.
So we'll do 2 questions, maybe from the audience, and then we'll do this announcement. We're pulling it back a little bit on time. So has anybody got any questions for Tony? Yes, Steve, go on.
What still motivates you, Tony? I've known you for a long time. You were enthusiastic 15 years ago as you are now. So.
What's my what, sorry?
What motivates you still today?
Not being beaten. I don't like to come second. I just like to be a winner. That's it. I like to be a winner. I think, Steve, we are all a product of our childhoods, aren't we? Okay? I think always at the start it's the money, isn't it? Okay? It's the money. But when you go over the money thing, we're never going to be jets and yachts, are we? But if we can be, if we can do what we want to do, then that's great. So the first key, how can I put it to you? I don't think I've ever been running to riches. I've always been running away from poverty. Does that make sense? Because I had a really crap childhood, council house, bullied at school, all the usual thing, everybody taking the piss. So you just wanted to try and get one better for my children. They weren't going to have that. So the drive was there, and to be given the opportunity, I didn't want to waste that. And then once you get into that competitive thing, don't you? Like Ollie. Ollie's been the number 1 at Primus for years and years and years. I could never get past him. But at the end of the day, we always just have a little giggle. So I think, first of all, it's the money, isn't it? It's having nice things, that's up to people what they want to do. And if they want a nice car, great. If they want to build an orphanage in Ukraine, great. Everybody's difference of wealth and riches is a different thing. But for me, it was just getting away from poverty. So first of all, it's the money, isn't it? Then I think it's the freedom. So then it's passive income, isn't it? It's trying to do what you got to do. And then I think you have to be if you don't mind me saying, obviously you're a very wealthy guy. I've known you for a long time, and you're still here. How old are you?
65.
65. Do you need to work?
No.
So I can ask you the same question. So I'm 58. I don't need to work, but I'm still here, aren't I?
I love it.
I love it too. That's what I said when I first started. I absolutely love it because you change people, you change the clients' lives, you change the people who work for you's lives, and you change your own life. It's a 3-tier system. So I do it because I love it. If I didn't want to do it, I wouldn't do it. But I do it because I love it. Nice to have nice things, of course. Nice to go to nice places. Nice to be called sir, isn't it? Now and again, or madam. Very nice. And the trouble is, in today's world, you need a lot of money, don't you? You need £5 a month to even have half a decent life, don't you? So, but I think then you get competitive, and that, going back in the full circle, is what this club's about, isn't it? This is where is it? Wealthy Advisors Club. So wealthy, we're trying to make the clients wealthy and ourselves wealthy, aren't we? The clients first, you second. Yep, advisor. We're giving advice. Yes, we're salesmen, but we're giving advice. We're not selling windows, are we? We're selling dreams and disasters. That's the plan, and it's a club. We're all in that club together. So hopefully, if we get away together, we have a bit of a giggle. It's a whole lot of fun talking about life insurance with a porn star martini in your hand in a bikini than it is sitting there with an aircon, isn't it? You know what I mean? We'll have a giggle. But no, so I'm very, 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 very driven. A couple of divorces, a couple of disasters, but very, very, very driven. I'll keep going till I'll do a Tommy Cooper. Yeah. Hopefully for a long time.
Yes, hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're the answer to that, aren't you? Remember what you once say to me? Let food be your medicine, otherwise the medicine will be your food. That's what you said. You once said to me that you either make food your medicine or medicine will become your food. I remember that 10 years ago.
Love that.
Sorry, go on.
One last question by anybody? Anyone got one? No? No questions? Okay, so
All done.
what we'll do is we'll pull it back on time a little bit. So I want to go straight into this announcement, if that's okay. First of all, give Tony a massive round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.